Some people are programmed to be poor. If you don't want to be one of those, keep watching. There's quite a shocking statistic where about 70% of lottery winners end up becoming broke after just a few years. They literally become millionaires and then they manage to become poor again in such a small time frame. For example, a guy named Andrew Jackson Whitaker, who won $315 million in the state Powerball draw. And then within 4 years, he went from being rich to being poor and lost all of his fortune. Or Janet Leigh, who won $18 million in 1993 and then gambled and donated away all of her money. She ultimately filed for bankruptcy and was poor by 2001, just 8 years after winning all of that money. I won't sit here and recount all of the examples that I've actually read that are similar to these, but it's absolutely crazy how many people came into such a large amount of money, went from being poor to being rich, and then just went to being poor again. I bet you're sat there thinking, if I ever won that sort of money, I would never ever be poor again a day in my life. But that's where a lot of people are wrong. And that's where quite a few factors come into play. One of the most important ones is the poverty mindset versus the wealthy mindset. These people were given such an incredible chance of creating true generational wealth. But instead of using their money to set them up for life and make more money with their money, they instead spent it on like 300 boats. Why is that? The reality is, even if you were to give these people an additional 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, they would still just spend all of their money and once again be in the same position as they started. And it's because of this poverty mindset. Most of society doesn't actually have this wealth generation mindset, and instead they either subconsciously or even consciously just believe that they are destined to be poor or at least not wealthy, and they just accept their fate. And I can kind of relate here. Coming from a non-wealthy family, I can see how easy it would be to get yourself into a hole where you believe that you're not actually going to ever be one of these people to truly be wealthy, and you sort of give up on yourself in terms of you might not want to learn new skills or develop existing skills in order to take that next step and actually become wealthy. And it's the same cycle that people find themselves in when they're on 6-figure salaries, yet they're still in debt. They are still experiencing the habits of a poor mindset. I once read somewhere that if you were to take all of the riches in the world and you were to redistribute it between all of the rich and all of the poor evenly, within a short space of time, the same individuals would become rich again and the same would become poor. So what's actually the deciding factor? Their mindset. I also saw this on an article. If you were to walk down the street and you were to ask people what's one thing they wish they could be, 99% of those people that you asked would say they wish they could be rich because it would be so life-changing and they sort of need that break and etc, etc. They wish they had millions so they could support their family, so that they could have their time back, they never had to work again. All of these different things why they wish they could be rich. But the truth of the matter is, it's these same people that then go home and sit on video games. It's the same people that spend all of their last pennies on the newest iPhone and have nothing else left to invest into themselves. It's the same people that don't want to get up early to start a side hustle. You get where I'm going. They want to become rich, they want to become wealthy, but their actions are the complete opposite. And this is so true. Lots of people have this dream, but they just don't see that you can get there by taking small incremental steps every single day. And the people that they see with this wealth, they just believe are inherently different. They have a different genetic makeup, whatever it may be. They're from a different family. And so there's just no true point in trying. Well, that's not true. And if you look at history, you'll see loads and loads of examples of successful, wealthy people that have come from low-income families or that have had a tough upbringing, whatever the reason, and they've still made it to that level of wealth. I mean, sure, there's also examples of people being born into riches, but that's always going to happen. Another trait that you'll see in someone with a poor mindset is that they believe they can save their way to wealth. You'll often hear them say things like, I'm going to save money by not buying my Starbucks this morning. They have what is known as a scarcity mindset. They think that saving is their way to get rich. I mean, obviously saving money and having a higher income than expenses is going to help. But in reality, that £4 a day spent on a coffee or whatever it is not really going to make a massive, massive difference. Sure, it does add up and it will be hundreds over the course of whatever time period, but In order to create wealth, true wealth, you don't really want an extra £100 coming in a month. You want way more than that. Let's say you're someone that stops by Starbucks or any other coffee shop every single morning for a coffee that you really enjoy. You really look forward to this moment. And let's say that you spend about £5 per day on this coffee that you really look forward to, but you decided that you're going to stop that in order to save money. How much are you going to save? You're going to save about £150 if you do this every single day of the month. Now you've got to ask yourself, is that £150 saved a month going to get you where you want to go? It's probably going to get you that extra bit closer, but realistically, £150 a month is not going to enable you to buy a new house or to start creating generational wealth or to leave your full-time job. So instead of focusing on saving, which is important, I'm not sitting here saying that you shouldn't save money and you should just go and spend it all, because that is so not true. But instead of really focusing on saving that money, focus on generating more income. With this example, what if you just found a way to make an extra £150 a month? Your coffee would be sorted. What if you found a way to make an extra £500 a month? Your £150 coffee expense would be more than sorted and you would have some left over. You see where I'm going with this? In fact, it's this secret that really separates the rich and the poor mindsets. The people with the rich mindset understand that they can only save a certain amount of money. If you had £30,000 coming in every single year and you were left with £1,000 per month after all of your expenses were paid out and you were really, really trying to save money, then you can only ever save that £1,000, no matter what you do. But if you increase your income to 50,000, 70,000, 80,000, and you still live the same life, that amount of money that you can save really, really grows. The shocking thing here is that even if people with a poor mindset realized this, they would still choose to take no action and they would still choose to just save their money instead of growing their income. And that comes down to, in a lot of cases, just laziness. And this is why having a poor mindset is so detrimental to someone's success. Success in terms of wealth. There are many types of successes in this life and they are definitely not all defined by finances. It's more than simply being cheap. People that allow their minds to dictate their life also have a poor mindset. They prefer to just play things safe, not take any action, and not really take any risk. As a result, many of those are quite unhappy and just feel that they're not really in control of their own lives. And the problem with this is that the human brain is wired to be as lazy as it possibly can be. Many studies have shown this, and this means that if you really want something to change, you have to be willing to overcome this feeling of not wanting to do it and really put in the work. And not a lot of people are actually willing to do that because it's hard. And people that possess this poor mindset are often very unsatisfied with their lives. But they make excuses as to why things aren't going their way. They see their co-workers or their friends or other people in society achieving things. And instead of looking at those people and thinking, what have they done that I can also replicate? They just feel bitter and jealous and angry. And I think this is because deep down, they wish they had the discipline to do what those people have done. Truth is, it's in your control. Sure, there are some external factors that are just outside of your control, but if you focus on only what you can do and do that every single day, then you'll get somewhere better than you are today. Another thing with this poor mindset is that due to the law of attraction, you're most likely going to be surrounded by other people with this poor mindset and attracting that sort of energy into your life. In other words, the thoughts and the actions that you have can really determine the life that you lead. And this is why people with this poor mindset are often in financial trouble. It's because they have this limiting belief about money and that money is the root of all evil. And this leads on to the next thing, which is the anti-wealth idea. This is the idea that money is the devil and it's the root of all evil, and that people with all of the money and the wealth in the world are just inherently evil and they've got there through unethical pathways and they just don't deserve their wealth. Well, the truth is that some of these people definitely fit that category, but there are also loads of these people that have worked so hard and they're so smart and they've put in way more time and effort than the average person, and they do deserve to be there. What they then do with their money is a whole different question, but do they deserve to be wealthy? Yeah, probably, because they're the ones that have made the additional steps to get there. This means that when you start adapting your mindset and you start changing your ideas and your beliefs about money, and you start having more of an abundance mindset where you don't think there's a limit on the amount that you can earn, and all of these different things, you can start working towards having the life you want. So one thing you can do is actually raise the standards that you have for yourself and also start educating yourself. Start trying to disprove your own beliefs, if you have any, about money being evil and that all wealthy people don't deserve to be there, etc., etc. And try and stay away from negative people that try and put a limit on how much you can earn. People that believe saving is the only way to wealth. People that believe you can never become wealthy. All these types of negative opinions that surround you will not help you get to where you want to go. It does take time to start unlearning those self-limiting beliefs that you have, that the world is against you, you're never going to make it. But the truth is, you can only focus on the actions that you can actually change, and you can only really look to the future and try and make an impact there, rather than looking at what's happened in the past and just feeling really unfairly treated. The next one is to take action. A large majority of people end up working jobs they hate for the rest of their lives, and that's because they don't understand how they can get out of that cycle. A poor mindset does come with just being uneducated about money, and it's understandable because we're not taught this stuff at school. But we can educate ourselves, we can read books, we can learn off other people that have done it, we can even watch YouTube videos and stuff like that. So it is out there for us to learn, we just have to want to do it. And then I think we have to get comfortable with doing. Start taking actions, start making businesses, start learning about all this stuff, and be okay with failing a few times first. And the third point is to cultivate the rich mindset. The mindset of the rich are those that focus on opportunities and things that they can do. The poor mindset are the ones that focus on risk and things that they can't do. If you have a rich mindset, you'll be focusing on the opportunities, the things that you can do, and the rewards that come with that. The poor mindset are going to be focusing on things that they can't do and all the obstacles in the way, all the reasons that they could fail, and all the risks associated with trying. I'm on my own journey of trying to cultivate this rich mindset and understanding that I can get to where I want to go and I don't have to have these self-limiting beliefs. I hope this video is helpful. If you want to join my Patreon, it's only £3 per month, which is less than a coffee here in the UK now, which is crazy. But yeah, check that out if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.